Hello everyone, welcome to Loija. This is me Dave. I'm a filmmaker and a video editor, and in this video we're gonna teach you how to do composition in After Effects without any third-party plugins. So let's start with this scene today. Well, as you can see in this sequence, a guy seems to be walking in the desert next to the pyramids, which was actually a scene shot next to the small river. We had to make the hills disappear, crank up the brightness a bit, and add flaring surface effects, which you can see in the hot desert surface. We also had to add a sun behind the scene so that the sunlight looked legitimate, and some music to enhance the scene ethically. So we decided to create fake ambience and add elements in this video which would help us to imitate the desert-like scene. So let's start to create this scene from scratch. So let's start with the video first. So in order to create a composition, we need to create one. Check if the presets are according to your choice. So we're gonna name it desert. Press OK and the composition is ready. Now we're gonna import our clips, our media clips, and we shot this short movie next to Brahmaputra, and it's a small river, and this is a clip. And after you find the clip, drag it to the composition, and yes, this is the clip. So we're gonna turn this regular clip into a desert clip. So in order to do this, we need to do lots of stuff like make the hills disappear, and we're gonna have to increase the brightness and add some we're gonna have to color grade actually to make the scene look like a desert. So the first part is to track the camera so that all the points in the scene is tracked perfectly. So yes, after tracking, after solving the camera, we need to check the points which is contiguous in the scene, because some of the points disappears from time to time. So after finding the contiguous points, we're gonna create null and a camera. So after creating the null and the camera, we're gonna copy a duplicate copy of the main clip, that is the main mother clip. So Control D and duplicate it and create a mask layer out of it. Why we are doing this? To create a duplicate copy of the sky and drag it in top of the hill so that the hill disappears and stays behind. We can do this in various ways, but I think taking cropped images from the main scene is more reasonable because the color matches and everything matches, and in order to match them, increase the featherness so that it perfectly balances itself. It doesn't look like it's put in front of it, in top of it, or else it would look like a sticker. So after adding the feathers, you can see that it looks quite legit. It doesn't look like it has been put on top of it. So yes, after doing this, we need to take the loop and stick it with the null which we created. And now what this will do is it's gonna connect the mask layer with the main layer, which is the mother layer. So even if the camera moves or shakes or jerks, the mask layer is gonna be intact with the points which we created through our null. So our next step is to animate the mask layer along with the movement of the character, because if the mask layer merges on top of the character, then the character is gonna suffer the same shit that happened with the hill. That is, the character is gonna disappear because the mask layer is on top of the character. So in order to do this, we'll have to animate the mask path, which I'll talk about in our next video, because in this video I don't want to go deep into the masking techniques. So after animating the masks layer along with the character, you can see that even if the character is moving, the mask layer is simply making the heels disappear, which our main target was. Our target was to make the heels disappear, not the character. So you can see after animating the mask layer along with the character, it's almost close to perfection. So yes, after doing so, create a duplicate of this mask, because we're gonna need another texture to put in top of the hill, which lies on our left hand side. Yes, left hand side is gonna be the side, because you are watching it in first person mode view. Now our next step is to delete the animation points which you've already created, because this mask has been copied from the first mask, and we're gonna drag this mask on top of the hill which lies on our left hand side, and we're gonna do the same thing that we did with the first mask. Yes, hide the hills. As I have already said that I'm gonna talk about masking techniques and how this works in my next video. Let's not go deep into that, and let's learn how to cover up. Okay, so after dragging both of the mask point on top of the heels, now you can see that the heels has completely disappeared, and yes, we are almost close to perfection. But for doing so, we need to increase the brightness so that the color matches, both of the color matches perfectly. So go to brightness and contrast, increase the brightness. Now you can see that the image is flat. The adjustment layer has merged both of the mask layer with the main layer, so we don't see any differences. It doesn't look like two masks has been put on top of the main clip. So now let's work with the color. Okay, so we create another adjustment layer, make another solid, and it's gonna be the sun. Well, create the color. Let's take this color, because the sun is always yellow in color. After doing so, if you use the pen tool, then it's different to draw a circle. So we're gonna take the ellipse tool and create the perfect circle. It's not a perfect circle, but it's gonna work, because it's not gonna stay like this solid. So now we're gonna make this layer 3D and loop it with the null layer so that it moves along with the null points. Now we're gonna work with the color of the sun. Always keep that in mind, that all the mask layer which you put on top of the source layer, that is the main clip, is connected, or else the mask layer or the character is gonna float on top of the clip and it's not gonna look realistic. So yes, now these are some characters which you can change so that your object looks different, but we're gonna not do anything. We're gonna increase the feather so that the sun dissolves in the sky. Yes, increase the feather. Now the sun has dissolved in the sky and it looks like a sun, not like a ball of yellow ball on a sky. So now we're gonna change the color of the scene, select the same color as it's on of the sun, and we're gonna change the blend mode to soft light. Name it color, the blend mode to soft light. It's not soft light. Yes, overlay. Sorry, soft light. Okay, overlay is gonna work. Let's decrease the opacity. After decreasing the opacity, you can see that the color is quite, it looks like a desert, almost like a desert. You can do lots of color grading and make it look like a real desert, but we are doing the shortcut because I don't want to waste your time. I want to show you the composition technique in a 3D way. So yes, this is the sun. Connect it with the direct null so that the sun moves along with the scene, the main clip. And yes, you can see the difference. We need to decrease the opacity of the sun so that the sun doesn't look like a yellow ball, but it dissolves with the sky. So let's go to color correction, go to selective color, yellow, and play with the characters so that until the sun disappears, until the sun dissolves. Yes, almost. Yes, it looks like the bright point is the sun. Almost a little bit of yellowness is there. And next thing we're gonna do is add some lens flare, because the sun is in front of the camera, so it's gonna obviously throw some flare on top of the lens. So I have downloaded this clips from YouTube, free to use videos. Add key light, that is chroma key. Place the pyramid on top of it. If you are an intermediate learner, I'm gonna touch each of the points, like how to use chroma key, how to use key light, how to do the masking and animating everything. But now I just want to show you how we created a desert scene out of a normal regular scene taken from a riverside. So after placing the pyramid, it's up to you how you place the pyramid, how you place objects, because in order to composite you need to have keen eyes, like not just like adding objects to the scene and it's gonna look realistic, but you'll have to play with the colors, you'll have to play with opacity, you'll have to play with the blend mode. Lots of stuff go together hand in hand. Color. Now the pyramid is far away from the characters, so that means you need some blur. Okay, so we're gonna add some blur to the pyramid so it looks legit. So go to effects, go to blur, sharpen camera blur, and add some blur to the pyramid so that the distance is maintained. Increase the blurriness. Okay, here we go. After increasing the blurriness, you can see that it has perfectly blended. The far away object it's far, and the closer objects looks close, because the lens which I'm using, this is zoom lens, and you can see the front surface is in blur mode, and the distant object will be also in blur mode, and the character is in focus mode. Place your objects wherever you like, but keep that in mind that it's not in odd places. So yes, we are almost good to go. We have placed and enhanced the picture the way we want it. The only thing that we want now is to add some mirage kind of effects, which will be on top of the So guys, hope you liked this video, and if you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and also press the bell icon below so that you can get frequent updates from us. And thanks for watching, stay blessed, and see you soon.